Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Spiritual Bro Show. I'm Dr. Amir, and with my esteemed brother and friend, Drago Reid, we're your spiritual bros. So today we don't have a guest. I think it's good every now and again to go back to the basics, the foundation of what is the source of growth and that point of coherence. And so here we are today to have a little chat amongst ourselves. So, Drago, how are you, man?
I'm feeling much better. This interview is a kind of a culmination of some recent attacks Amir and I have been going through, and this is kind of the crux of why we're here today to speak about this because there's some stuff going on in the community, the SSP, that some people talk about, but no one really takes it seriously. And we're here to let people know you need to start taking this seriously. And some of the people that's coming out in the SSP that's wanting to be known and become famous, you need to be careful because I don't wish this life on anybody. It's a very dangerous life to be in. The moment you come forward, you will no longer ever have a private life. Everything you do will be scrutinized, and you will have people come out of the woodwork to want what you have and to want your energy, and they will do anything they can do to get near you, even to pretend they're your friends. They will manipulate you, and like there's so much to talk about today, but this is basically this is something we've been wanting to talk about for a long time, and here we are now.
So, the general topic would be playing with fire. And so, there are many ways to attack an individual that are non physical, that wouldn't necessarily break the law, even. The effects are very real. So Drago has greater knowledge on the technological side of this type of attack. I've got more experience with the spiritual and energetic side of these attacks. So the first thing that we must acknowledge that they're real, very, very real, and they affect the soul shard, the energy structure of the body, your emotional state, your cognitive state, and your physical body. So, Draco, would you like to start with your experience?
Yeah, so basically about 5 days ago, I had woken up and it feels like my right leg was beat to death. I could compare it to a couple of different things. It either feels like someone took a baseball bat to the bottom of my foot and this beat the living crap out of it. What it also feels like is somebody stabbed me with a really long blade up through my foot. And when I step on it, it feels like I'm impaling myself. And I would also compare that to jumping out of off a sixth floor building and then landing on your feet. That's what it feels like. So basically, I couldn't walk, and it affected me doing our last scheduled interview, and it just happened to coincide with Amir getting attacked. And probably about a week and a half before this happened, I was doing a hypnosis session on a high ranking commander in the SSP that I'll be speaking with in 2 weeks at the Super Soldier Conference in Hawaii in Panoa. And when I put her under, this is pretty common with people in the SSP. They're going to have handlers, and the handlers vary. They'll be oracles, which means they're government remote viewers assigned to that person acting as a handler to watch and evaluate that person to then figure out a plan of action if that person is speaking out about certain things they don't want to be talked about. There's ETs, there's draconians. So draconians come in my sessions all the time. And they're always acting as inhibitors when I start doing memory retrieval. So what I do is I notice the client starts acting a certain way, and I notice there's something preventing them from speaking. So I literally just bring them up through time and space with a swipe of my hand. I'm forcing them into the physical body. Sometimes it gets very shitty. And in this one example of a session a couple weeks ago, almost. This high-ranking SSP commander, she had some fallen angel attachments. And these fallen angels, they were not good in any way. These are the darkest of the dark that fell from the light, and they are vicious. And when I brought them into her body to speak, Maciel didn't have much. Well, crap, I just said her name. Whatever. We'll be talking about it in a couple weeks. Her name is Maciel Matthias. That just came out of nowhere. I'm shocked I even just named her. So, Maciel, her body, she had to hold back these fallen angels from choking me out. And it got very heated, and they got in my face. They were like, it was like the Exorcist movie. Whenever another
Yeah,
being is invited into your body and we have this conversation, why are you here? Why are you acting as a handler? Why are you suppressing her abilities? They do not want to give that control up.
yeah,
And it's people like Amir, we know what we're dealing with, but other people do not in the
yeah.
SSP. If you're not dealing with fallen angels, do not mess with them under any circumstance. You are
Correct.
literally playing with fire. So
Right.
during this session, they threatened to kill me, and they said they would slit my throat. So 4 or 5 days ago,
They did.
they
They did.
followed through with it, and they took my astral body, treated me like a voodoo doll. They slit my throat and cut my legs
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
And I only told a couple of people about this, what had actually happened, no more than
Yeah.
two people. And suddenly I'm having all these people contact me outside of the message that Miles posted, because he was concerned that something happened to me, because I don't just cancel shows out of nowhere. I'm not known for that. If I schedule a show, I'm there no matter how I feel. But 4 days ago, it was not like that. Like, this is healing. I know I can't flip my arm around, but you can see that there's lacerations that are healing. And these are ab reactions. They just appear on your body out of nowhere. So what they do to your astral body, you can have a physiological ab reaction. So if they slit your throat, you can be spitting up blood. I was literally spitting up blood. It's been a while since I've spit up blood. Like, I'm shocked how long it's been. Like, because they've hit me in all kinds of ways, and I haven't been spitting up blood in a while. And then that
Yeah.
same day, I'm spitting up blood again. And
Wow.
I can still barely walk on my leg. And they end up hitting Amir as well. And
Yep. This is now. It's so interesting, Drago. This is the second time that this has happened. Same group of fallen angelic beings. This is something that people, and so this is the merit of why we're having this conversation, just for information for people to know. You see, just because something is beautiful and shiny doesn't mean it's good. Everybody's probably heard of Lucifer, fallen angel. These are beings born in the primordial divine light who become narcissistic. They believe that the beloved source of all sources is not perfect, and so therefore they wish to help. And the effect of their meddling in human affairs is the perversion of earth religions. For example, voodoo. So something that started out as the worship of the mother goddess, our beloved Mother Earth, harmony with nature, and not taking from nature more than you need, has turned into this abomination which is causing harm. As Drago beautifully and completely stated, the effects on the energy body then translate into the physical body. So first thing that I had, this was about probably a month ago, I got hit in my hip joints. I couldn't walk. I keep myself healthy. I'm not super fit or strong, but I take care of myself. I couldn't walk. I was limping. And so I reached out to Susan Long. Shout out, Susan. I freaking love you, girl.
the original Jean Grey Montauk.
Oh, oh my God. And so she said, "Oh, what's wrong with your hip?" I said, "Oh my God, please just fix it." And so, credit where credit is due, she pulled something like a corkscrew out of my hip joint, and that was immediately fixed. So yes, these fallen angelic beings are nastier than any demon or any Draco reptilian or any gray in terms of their bitterness and pure and sheer evil, they are the worst of the worst. And so this is something that's getting addressed. Next, I came across Drago, and it's clear immediately. You can sense if there's an attack, or any healer worth their salt can sense this. I had to stabilize him, creating a crystal grid. Dude, you're going to die. They wanted to kill you. And after the stabilization, I facilitated the opening of the heart. Dude, I gave you half my life force and took half the poison, which knocked me on my ass. It wreaked havoc with my emotional body. So as we continue our conversation, this would be part of the strategies that people can use to protect themselves, the emotions, that inner trauma, and so on. The grid is still in place, by the way. It's continuing to heal you. So hopefully you'll be back to perfect health really shortly. So
That's
that
why
the
you are
whole
my
thing of,
brother.
oh man, fallen angels, these bastards, they gotta go. So since you have recovered, you're back to probably 80% strength. Can you describe what you were feeling, not just in the body, in your mind, in your emotions?
Imagine having a darkness cloud come over you and you can't explain it, and there's no context for what is happening, and you just wake up and you're in a fog. That's what it's like. Um, just remembering all that, man, like
Yeah, yeah,
this is a dangerous game we're playing, man. And when you deal with draconians, it's different than the fallen angels because
yeah,
draconians have honor. And these fallen angels, they do not have honor. There's no lines they won't cross.
yeah.
If they know who you love, they will target who you love. If you post your animals online, they will
They'll hit.
target your animals. Do not put your family members online, especially your animals that you love the most. I know you guys have never thought about this, thinking about how innocent something like that can be. But what you just did, you just gave them a visual of the thing you cherish the most. And what we're seeing in the SSP and people in these black projects is all of our animals are dying all at once with spontaneous cancers, organ failures, and they're hitting everybody. But when these angels step in, man,
Let's call them for what they are, the
the
fallen.
fallen, I call them the fallen.
Yeah,
When the fallen steps in, man, you can be a powerful person, but if you don't have a team standing by to fight them, they will take you. I am extremely powerful in the SSP, but I'm not that powerful. And what Amir saw, like Amir, tell them how many players were involved to try to take you and I out when they hit us.
I'm getting goosebumps all over just tuning into it. Well, turns out there were 80,000 beings, 80,000, um, including the fallen, including Draco reptilians, including elementals, including inner earth species, all in all, 80,000 minds in unison focusing on one person. So you get overrun. And I've seen this in many of my esteemed clients who are proper angels. And these beings are powerful. Angels are a force to be recognized. They're not soft, they're not easy prey. And yet it's a numbers game. You get buried. And so it's a brute force kind of attack, like distributed denial of service. So many requests go into one server, it crashes the whole thing. It's so important. I agree with you, Drago. It's so important if you're in this mission of speaking the truth, which has the potential to injure the fragile ego of many. So important to have somebody that can help you, that you can trust. Don't go solo. Together we stand, and alone we fall. And I want to give a shout out to David Wilcock. because that's the approach that was implemented towards him. And I think especially towards the end, um, the poor man was alone. Not that he didn't have people around him, but somebody who he could share the burden with. He didn't. So that's a takedown, both in terms of sabotage of his image, the smear campaign, then the emotional loss of friends leaving his circle, financial loss. There's only so much a human can take. And I just want to honor David Wilcock, as a beloved fallen comrade. He did succumb, but he never knelt. He never bent a knee. He never gave up. So yes, as you move forward, ladies and gentlemen, find somebody who is trustworthy. So in such cases, you can call out and reach out for help. Never be alone.
Yeah, and most of my mission, I had this mentality where I was the proud lone wolf, where I was willing to take all the arrows, all the shots, all the bullets myself because I was strong enough. But when you do this over an entire lifetime and you hold that mentality and you don't have friends and family and your team protecting you, I don't want to do that no more because like just like Amir said, when they do a DDoS attack on you and you get hit by so many people that you don't see coming, there's only so much you can do. It's kind of like a mob taking over one person. Sure, you can fight off the first couple of waves, but once they start
Eventually,
piling on you, man, you cannot get out of it. And it looks like they succeeded because this is what they do. They hit us astrally with what happened to David, with what we're seeing with remote viewing. David was given an existential kind of dread. He had everyone around him activated and they all turned on him. And this is what we're seeing in the SSP. This is happening to me. A lot of people that I served with, that I called my brothers and sisters, these people are getting activated and they're lashing out. And I'm not known to take part in drama. If you're literally creating content mentioning me and you know who you are, there's multiple people. I don't know what you want from me because if you continue what you're doing, I will burn you publicly. You will no longer be in my life. There are no second chances. Once you cross the threshold, you will never come back in my life. So if you keep it up, there are consequences for your actions. I've lost almost everyone I've loved over this. They've used V2K. They've used fallen angel attachments to get into the minds of the people I love to create tension and to do all kinds of things to me. And if I didn't have a team of trusted remote viewers, I wouldn't know a lot of this stuff is even happening. And this is why me and Amir wanted to form this team. We wanted to form a specific team of powerful players because one, we serve with each other on the other side, and we're here to awaken each other, and we're remembering we served together in numerous lifetimes. So we don't accept a lot of outsiders coming in our life. Like, sure, people want to come help, but there's nothing stopping them from hitting you for helping us. So just understand, like, a lot of the people in the SSP, they've been dying left and right. You know, there's not a year goes by that I don't see one of my friends or someone I served with murdered. And what they're doing, they're getting really smart. They're no longer just hitting us with a murder suicide. They're giving us spontaneous health problems out of nowhere. And I've told people, if I get some kind of spontaneous health problem out of nowhere and I start to die, they hit me. And if I ever die doing this, I say this all the time, and I do not say this lightly. I'm not cocky when I say that I will probably die for this, because more than likely I will die for this. And it's fine. I'm not afraid of death. I was telling Amir, the only thing I'm afraid of is never living to my truest potential and doing everything I need to do here on this mission. So just guys, be careful. That's all I ask. You have no idea what you're playing with. Like all these practitioners, hypnotists, and they're trying to like, oh my God, I want to specialize in verifying people's testimony. You have no idea the Pandora's box you're opening because the stuff that's going on behind the scenes that's being planned against you, I promise you will regret it. So if you're not strong, if you're not mentally and physically capable, Do not do what we're doing. I
Yes.
say this from
Yes.
the bottom of my heart. If you want to keep your children, to keep your animals, to keep your relationships, be freaking careful. That's all I'm going to say. Because Amir, of all people, we both lost a lot in our lifetimes. We've been through some pretty hard hardships in numerous lifetimes, but this is the life of a warrior. This is the only thing we know to do. We don't want regular digging potato lives like Dolores Cannon says. That's not us. We're not here for that. We've already done that. We got the shirt, just like Amir says. We got the little tourist attraction shit. We're not here for that. We're here to awaken all the souls, to
Yes.
waken up to your power, and we will
Yes.
die. We would die to make this happen. So just know we don't say that lightly. We don't want to die, but we will
Correct.
die for you to wake you up. So just know that and understand this is a burden,
Yeah. It's,
but
it's,
it
it's
is
not the
also a
easiest.
blessing.
Well, I suppose we've covered the prologue, the introduction. Okay, boys and girls, it's real. Now, what to do about it? And that's why we're here. Quite literally, that's why we're here. We're not 6 feet under, because you're not helpless. It's not a done deal. There are things that you can do to make yourself immune to a great degree. So, first thing is awareness. And in order to have awareness that something is not right, you need to know your own baseline. So, for this to happen, leave your devices at home one day when you got nothing scheduled, nobody's bugging you, you don't got to pick somebody up. When you have a few hours of nice, free, stress-free, and burden-free time, go into nature, preferably somewhere with water, a stream, a lake, by the ocean. Take off your shoes and socks and find a comfortable spot where you hear a calling. You'll know this is my spot. Sit down and just relax. It's going to take a while for the jargon and the mumbo jumbo in the little monkey brain to fizzle down. And suddenly that moment arrives where you start hearing the birds singing. You start hearing the wind going through the leaves. You hear the sound of the river. You hear the ocean. And so that's when you have successfully minimized the effects of the matrix. Then observe yourself, your emotional state, your body, your thoughts. And if you find that you are normally a happy and relaxed person, able to think clearly, that is your baseline. And that is your lifeline. Now, anything coming into your mind, just because it is occurring in your mind, doesn't mean it's yours. This may happen through technology or through psionics. Telepathy is a real thing, and the induction of thought patterns is something that many people can master. Once you know that you are under attack, you have already won 99% of the battle. So, frequently visit nature to keep your sensors sensitive and your readings accurate so that you may know yourself and your baseline in the truest way. The second thing that I would like to respectfully and humbly suggest to everybody, see each one of these events as a great opportunity for deep healing. Because as it turns out, whether it's voice to skull, whether it's, let's say, some sort of a gigahertz band electromagnetic wave, whether it's some sort of psionic interference, whether it's sentient AI, whether it's nanoparticles, there's so many of these freaking things. We're not living in a clean world. Whatever it is, usually the first thing it does would scan your memory and look for recent patterns of trauma.
Mm-hmm.
What hurt you the most recently? And so then it uses that and fills in the blanks and starts going at you. And so what you would notice under energetic attack is intense negative emotion, hitting the heart, solar plexus, sacral, and messing with your mind, crown chakra. So once you successfully pass through the valley of the shadow of death through this attack, go back and look at what happened. What is this trauma that has been triggered? And deal with it. There's a wonderful and beautiful way Buddhist masters look at this. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a new thing. Thousands of years ago, our wonderful ancestors were facing the same nonsense. The Buddhists look at this as the karmic pull for karma. If there is no karmic cause within you, it does not stick, or you do not magnetize that type of event. So don't neglect your shadow work. This is not an easy thing, but the more you do, the stronger you become, ultimately reaching a state where these intrusions have nothing to use against you. There is no emotional weakness that is not healed, transmuted, and integrated. And so then you're left with sheer heaviness that is easy to transmute. So Drago, please complement what I just opened up on. What do you think about the trauma, the shadow?
Yeah, thank you for that beautiful explanation. And it segues perfectly into other things. Like a lot of my clients, they contact me and they're caught in this Groundhog Day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It never ends. It's the same actions over and over and over. And the darkness is keeping you in that loop. If you're suffering from a lot of negative emotions, if you're going through a lot of trauma and you wake up every day triggered, that's part of the game. This is all an illusion. And if you're waking up in this hologram where it's this repetitive trauma loop, they have to keep you in your lower chakras in order to target you the most because they cut off the top half. It blocks your third eye, it blocks your throat from speaking, it blocks your heart. I see this in a ton of my clients, and so does Amir, because me and Amir share clients. We do this as a team together. We do this because we need each other. We complement each other with modalities, and we're stronger together than we are independently. And our clients, we constantly recommend clients with each other because all of our clients, they love it. They love a team of people they can trust that survives the scrutiny of remote viewing, that is doing this because they're service to others. They're not doing this to be famous. Like me and Amir don't care about being famous. We care about waking up as many people as we can. So this whole Groundhog Day loop, if you feel yourself caught in this trauma, no matter how much grounding you do, if you don't rescue yourself from the situation you're in, how do you expect people to truly help you? So if you have this pattern of always making a left in life, maybe it's time to start making a right. If you're in an abusive relationship, if you're in a toxic job, you refuse to leave because you say, I'm never going to find better. This is the most common excuse in my female clients. They think they're not going to find someone who's going to love them more than the person that abuses them now. They think that they're too old to find a new career or to do something that would ignite their life to make them feel like they're doing something. And most people never do this. And it is I wouldn't say it's my job. It is my duty to observe your patterns in your life to help you escape the patterns you created yourself. So that's how they target us. They keep us in these patterns. They keep us. It's kind of like, how you keep trying to sing a song out loud and the lyrics keep repeating over and over and over. That's part of the trauma loop. They know if they keep you in that chaos, you can never be living in the now. It's something living in the past. So the secret to that is sing the entire song out. Go to lyrics.com, read it out loud, say it out loud. The loop stops because you're acknowledging that a loop is being created. If you can't acknowledge that there's a loop and you don't know how to escape it, ask yourself, why is the loop there? Right? So that's what we're saying. remove what is harming you in your life. I know it could be really big to some people. They're like,
Yeah.
well, I'm married to this person, we have kids together. I have to have a life of abuse because there's children is involved. Shame on you. You're the number one regret in life that I've seen upon the deathbed for all my clients dying, and most of the ones that have said this over time. They said the number one regret they have is living life for others and not living life for themselves. For going out, giving up your entire life to live it for your children. Sure, that's admirable, but that is not what this is for. You're not here to sacrifice your entire life for the people you love. If it's going to cause you to not be loved and you to not have your dreams fulfilled. So identify, write it on paper. What are
Yeah.
my obstacles? What am
Yeah.
I not doing to ground myself? Am I not meditating? Am I not trying to do this spiritual work of evolution? Or do I just surround myself with technology like Amir was saying? Being blasted by the Wi-Fi waves, never getting out of the concrete jungle.
Yeah.
We had an episode probably 3 or 4 interviews ago talking about the concrete jungle and how this place was
Yeah.
designed in order to entrap us to actually
Yeah.
harm us.
Yeah.
So that's it. Identify where the negative emotions are coming from, write it down, try to understand why it's happening. And if it's coming in a loop, you need to heal that with that person, or you need to forgive them and move on.
Yeah.
If I left
Great.
Texas in 2015 to get away from all the toxicity in my life, I was surrounded by people who only wanted to use me. I built a name for myself in Texas over a lifetime of tattooing.
Mhm.
I got pretty famous in the tattoo world, and I never talk about it online because, like, that's who I used to be. That's who I used to pride myself in being. But once I got it all, I realized it was only my ego wanting to be known. And once
Mhm.
I got that notoriety, I'm like, I don't want this. It's for all the wrong reasons. And I walked away in 2015. I sold all my businesses, everything I've ever known, everyone I ever loved. I left them in Texas coldly. My friends, my family, pretty much no one's in contact with me from Texas. Everyone that was close to me, I had to walk away from everyone. And it has nothing to do with the individual ones that were good. I think about them all the time, but like you have to take responsibility from leaving the toxic timeline that you're perpetuating in that Groundhog Day. So that's the key.
Oh,
Identify it,
absolutely.
leave it, forgive it. If you're not high enough to forgive in this life, you have a lot of evolution to do, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. So essentially, all love begins with self-love.
100%.
This is one tiny change in your modus operandi. There's no problem with loving people, animals, what you are in a position of custodianship towards. This is all beautiful. But as Drago beautifully said, not to the cost of self-diminishment, self-harm. Sacrifice in that way is moronic. And let's remember what we came here to do. We came here to self-evaluate, to see if we are strong, to see if we can heal, to see if we can rise above the trauma and forgive, and to break free, break through all the distortion and connect back to our truest identity, which is the beloved source of all things. That's the mission. The rest is just a matrix. So love yourself. There's only so much life force that the body needs. There's only so much live vibrantly, and then you start overflowing. May the overflow wash across the cosmos and serve the highest good of all. So don't neglect yourself at any cost. Love should not hurt. Love should not be traumatic. It should not injure you. Love is gentle. Love is forgiving. Love is kind. And this is your birthright as a mighty human, to be treated with softness, with kindness, with respect, with forgiveness. And if anything doesn't match, you absolutely have the right to say, thank you, but no thank you. If you are diminished through inappropriate relationships, you're not in the best position to love others. If you are strong and healthy, you can love everyone from a position of strength, maturity, and health, including your wonderful children. So this is the first thing. Now, Drago, you were talking about these cyclical thoughts. In my case, I see the astral or higher dimensional form of these entities. It's not just physical reality that contains parasites. Every dimension, every density has life, and parasites are common everywhere. There's some that are organic, quote unquote. There's some that are purely technological, mostly targeting crown chakra and the energy structure of the central nervous system. There's some that are pretty nasty. They look like centipedes. They connect to the entire backside of the skull and every single one of the vertebrae going down the spine, like centipedes. They're jellyfish. They're ones that look like sperm cells. They're tiny little ones the size of mustard seeds. You imagine it exists. So I'd like to share something very practical with our wonderful audience that will help you build up life force and then go cause a little vacuum and then a supernova. Super simple. So you're burning out these parasites. The vast majority of them will burn out through this method. So you're closing your internal orbit of energy. So first, with the tip of the tongue, you touch the palate. And then you contract the muscles around the sphincter on the bottom side. It's like a Kegel exercise. So contracting the muscles on the bottom of the abdomen and also touching the palate with your tongue. This is counterintuitive. It's not the easiest thing to do correctly the first time round. So once you're comfortable with this, you breathe in from the nose and breathe out both through nose and mouth. So you hold this, let's call it orbit or circuit of energy closed for 9 breaths. And you start accumulating life force internally, more. On round number 9, you release the muscles. You stop touching the palate with your tongue and breathe out. Energetically, you're causing a supernova of mana, prana, chi, life force, that love that lies at the foundation of all creation. Many names, same good stuff. That which animates the body. You make a little pulse and burn most of these little bastards out. Next thing I want to suggest, so Drago, thank you for your patience. I'll just do these in a list so people can use it back to back if they want to take note. Rattles, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't have to be any particular type of rattle. I use these each from a different tree, each with a different energy, but you can program your own consciousness. Sound is a powerful carrier of energy and sentience. The only musical instrument shared by every tribe and race of human is the drum. So percussion instruments and rattles are unbelievably powerful. Get yourself a little drum or a little rattle. Hold the object in your hands. And so this is going to serve you for the remainder of your life, whatever, if it's something with a handle, even if it's one used today in modern music, you just hold this object and you cleanse it. So you hold this thing in the palm of your hand and then you place it on your heart. And you say, beloved gift of Mother Earth, if it's from a natural substance, it's even better. Beloved gift of Mother Earth, I love you. I thank you for your service. Help me in the co-creation of cleanliness and purification. And so that's it. Now this has become a shamanic instrument of unimaginable potency. And so if you feel something isn't right, you just shake it around your body and break up any heaviness. Next thing, after using sound, let's go up the scale of vibration. It would be the use of the technology of the void. The void, or the primordial divine void, in Sanskrit called the shunyata. It's the domain coming into existence when Source makes the intention to self-disclose, so Source may know itself for all its glory. And then the void comes into existence. It's the domain of infinite possibility and infinite energy. Meaning from there, you can manifest anything that is needed. So essentially, by tapping into the void, you can initiate a divine audit. This is something you probably have heard many beautiful souls speak about, the divine audit. It's acknowledging that in a human form, we don't know everything. And so we cannot be judge, jury, and executioner. We ask Source to enter and clean things up. Source is cleaning itself because everything is part of Source. And so after the audit, if Source decides nothing is left over, it's all broken down into elemental substances, so be it. If Source decides something remains, this can still evolve and continue growing and expressing its divinity, so be it. My spiritual modality of choice is Vajrayana Buddhism. This has been around for ages. It's old, goes before the last ice age. The roots of it go before the last fall of Atlantis. And so mantras are used. The Sanskrit language is beautiful. So you can call to a being of the void, like the Vajra Kilaya, or Mother Kali. And then finally, thank you for your patience, Drago. Finally, you don't need all this stuff. Call to Source. Beloved Source of all things, I do not know, but I love with all my being. The impurities in me cause impurities in my manifestations. Please consider I have said, done, and asked for everything correctly. Bestow upon me my highest good and greatest life, and purify me. This is the most potent. So these are the approaches that I use on a daily basis successfully with many, many clients. They feel it immediately. I feel it immediately. We both start crying. I've got sessions when myself and a male client, both grown-ass gentlemen, break into tears. Tears are flowing. It's a beautiful thing to observe. So that's my approach. That's what Drago and I use to survive. It is highly effective, and because the audit goes beyond directional movement forward, it goes back and forward in time, other time streams, other dimensions, other universes, other domains of consciousness that don't fall into the boundaries of a little bubble universe. This is what the divine audit does. The 80,000 beings that were involved in attacking Drago and I have been removed from the book of life. They will no longer harm us, and they will no longer harm anybody else. So this is probably why we got together. It's not all doom and gloom. We are the mighty humans. We're here to reach our highest potential. Our destiny is to move into the cosmos and be teachers and healers, prophets of Source and guides, teaching young species what we did to survive so they avoid our mistakes. We are a force of Source. We are the unstoppable storm. Many parasitic species that try to contain us and suppress us. This is how they see humanity. They fear our potential. The only way they can do this kind of thing is if we are in ignorance. Once we know who we are, which is Source, Source embodied, nothing can stand in our way. We shall move forward with dignity, with compassion, and with grace. So that's my spiel.
It's quite beautiful, man. Never apologize for giving us wisdom and stuff we need to hear, man. Like it's always a pleasure just to even
Thank you.
have you bring this forward, and likewise. For the people that don't understand what a black void dragon is, there's not very many people in life that I would consider a professor of professors on the subject of dragons. Can you kind of tell the audience what the role of a black void dragon is and what the difference between you and me? Because Amir and I are both black void dragons, and there's only 13. So when I say there's only 13, I don't mean just on Earth. And coincidentally, Amir and I know at least 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah, yeah. So beings of the void in Buddhism are called Heruka, wisdom beings. These beings are brought into form when stuff goes badly wrong. And so they're considered the compassionate action of all the Buddhas or all the Bodhisattvas, Christ consciousness beings, where in their compassion and love and gentleness approach something that is damaged. It doesn't respond to Source's offer of healing and redemption, like the fallen that we started our conversation with. And so therefore, from the shunyata, from the void, these wisdom beings are brought into manifestation. Now, this is a state of consciousness primarily. So from these 13 initial ones, on Earth right now, we have about 1,000 aspects or 1,000 humans that are aspects of these beings. Yes, we've met probably about 10 or 12 between Drago and myself. Spectacular. These people are on top of their game. Highly effective, highly intelligent. And so what they do on a soul level. So that's a state of consciousness from the void that can initiate a divine audit. I would be an aspect of the Vajrakilaya, which is purification through elemental transmutation, breaking down into elemental components so those elements can be recycled. So beings that are closing the pathway, not going through, also preventing everybody else from going through, they're removed. So these beings of the primordial divine void, especially the form that is dragon, are Source's fixers. They have access to all 26 dimensions in this universe. If there is a fallen, we have the spiritual authority to rip off its wings and send it into the underworld. So it starts learning from kindergarten to rightfully evolve. And if there's a being in the underworld that has praised the beloved Source for hundreds of thousands of years in isolation and is worthy of ascension, we have the ability to call Source and download a new heart chakra for it, cross it over the border. So yes, Source's fixers. And so these are the Heruka. And so in symbolic art, the Buddhists show a dragon like this. It's scary. Of course, it's scary. It's a freaking dragon.
And that's quite literally Amir depicted there, and what would in modern times be depicted as his dragon body. And again, the more arms, the more capabilities, the more powers. That's what it's shown to depict.
That is true. And so I'd strongly recommend this book to our wonderful audience. It gives you a protocol of accessing that state of consciousness. And then traditionally, instruments like a Vajra, which is this, or a Furva, which is then using void technology, can be assistive tools for this. There's a mantra that you would repeat, calling to the beloved Source, embodying truth, becoming the Heruka, destroying evil, and elevating it and healing it, liberating it if possible. Highly effective. And so embodying this will take you probably 2-3 months, 3 minutes a day. So please have a look into this book, The Practice of Vajrakilaya. It starts out with the masters that brought this into the common time. And this gentleman, he's called Rinpoche. Rinpoche means beloved one, Grand Master. Allegedly, he achieved the rainbow body, which is ascension. The body evaporates into energy with all the colors of the rainbow. So these are practices that are available. If you don't have the patience to do the meditations for 3 months, 3 minutes a day, the go-to is calling to source. You're calling to self. We are drops from the mighty ocean of source. We are the mighty ocean in one drop.
And the mantras he's talking about in that book, I use it personally when I'm fighting the fallen and the draconians and stuff. And that mantra I use, which my clients can attest for this, when I start actually doing this mantra, if they start reacting and they start fighting me, I will get louder and louder, and you'll see their body start shaking. And it's causing extreme pain for them. And this is one of the way to really protect yourself. And Amir gives this to
And
a lot of people, and to the ones that
everyone,
have not taken
everyone,
it seriously, guys, get in this material, use these mantras. This is what the Tibetan and the Buddhists were doing. They were trying to change their frequency over time so they can escape the samsara, the death traps, because
yeah, yeah,
these
yeah.
death traps are not a modern thing. This whole reincarnation trap that we're caught in, it's a very I'm not good with small words. Um it's the word where you bring it up and it's very a lot of people reject it. We're seeing this in a lot of past life regressions. We're seeing that people hit this frequency fence and they're reincarnated back on these planets and it's not normal. And this is way these archons, this AI, the draconians, the fallen, they keep it where they can be the kings, the rulers over time.
Yeah.
And they hijack sources creation. And Amir and I took the call. Many of us that are here now, many of us are not even awakened yet, even listening to this transmission. You responded to that call to wake people up. So if you're living life where you're just caught in the matrix, acting like a background player, where you're just doing the 9 to 5, doing the drama, watching the Super Bowl, you are asleep 100%. And people always come to people like me and Amir because behind the scenes, we're the guys putting foot to ass, bringing accountability on the highest level. And no one knows what we're doing. We're not here to talk about the things we're doing because we're not looking for validation from people. Like the burden we're involving ourselves is the lifetime of loneliness. A lifetime of knowing that anyone we love, we have to be careful with even our thoughts, because I tell this to the people closest to me that I have to watch my thoughts for people that I care about, because those thoughts can be remote viewed. And I even tell the people closest to me, do not openly hold feelings for me in certain ways, because they will find your light in the darkness and they will hit you. So be careful who you talk about online, that you care for. Be careful when you're around them at conferences. Protect your thoughts, protect your energy. One thing you can do is, I'm getting to the point where all these handlers that are coming in during conferences, they're being really cocky, and I'm getting lion paw handshakes constantly. And what a lion paw handshake is, it's a high-ranking Freemason Illuminati handshake, and usually that's part of the darkness. So what the lion paw is, it's a pointer finger. And what they do is they shake your hand, and you cannot see this. You're only going to see the bottom 3 fingers. They're touching your lifeline, your pulse. They're saying, I control your lifeline, your pulse. So it's getting to the point where when I'm at conferences, I don't even want to shake people's hands no more, because when we activate our remote viewers on our team, we're seeing a ton of them are there to hurt us. And they come in all nice and like they will act like they're your best friend. We had lives together. We're going to be homies. In the entire time, they have back doors around their energy. Amir sees this all the time. He sees a lot of famous people. We're not going to name them at all. We're not here for that, but we know who you are. A lot of these famous people that's wanting to come in the community to assist us, they have these back doors all around them in their light body, and these are doors to darkness. You can literally see the different doors, and they're being puppeteered. Some of the most famous channelers and remote viewers I know, there's a person. I'm not going to name a sex. There's a person that's out there, and through remote viewing, we're seeing that they've been co-opted by the darkness, and they're one of the most famous people that give updates. And people, they just don't understand how deep this rabbit hole goes, and everybody's just like, oh my god, I'm going to rely on this information, I'm going to change my habits, my patterns, because this person is saying this is how it's going. But you're not questioning anything, you're not using your own intuition, you're not going on the inside. The problem is they're separating us in this community because all these disclosure celebrities. I will never be a disclosure celebrity. I will never be the guy you come to want to know the latest galactic updates. I will never be that person. I don't want to be that person. Now, keep in mind, I know a lot what's going on behind the scenes because I do weekly sessions with high level SSP people and galactic people and extraterrestrials, and they come in during my sessions on video recorded. So don't think I know I don't think I don't know what's going on. But again, I'm not here to preach the new disclosure gospel and to be SSP cosplaying like a lot of you guys are in the SSP, where you're trying to be SSP experiencers, but you don't even have real memories. You're relying off a past life regression or remote viewing, but you have no true memories, and you want to be at a certain level of disclosure, but like you don't even know your own story. So how can you represent this community if you don't even know who you are? So just be careful, because I like to call them SSP cosplayers. This is my terminology, my nomenclature, and I want this to be passed around. SSP cosplayers. Those are the ones like Corey Good, the ones that did this to become famous, to get millions of dollars, and he did. He milked it. He became a millionaire really fast, but people woke up. They saw the truth. They saw he did this for the wrong reasons. And people need to understand, like the Corey Good situations, it's like a minefield. But people need to know Corey is a real experiencer. I remember him. A lot of people, high level people behind the scenes, remember him. But we also know that he made a deal with the bad guys in order to say he made it all up, because they did remote viewing in the future with Operation Looking Glass, Project Looking Glass, and showed that if he does not interject now, this movement will be so big that they can no longer stop it again. So they used the top two guys like David. David was my number one guy for a long time, and I've been following that dude since before his 2012 stuff. I followed him around the world, conference after conference after conference. I bought all of his books, which are all right here. And to see that he got kind of more into the money, you know, we saw the fall of David where he got super cocky with the money and he wanted to just be rich and invest all these major companies. He had good intentions originally, and they used him to the max since he was a child. David was part of the program since he was a child. They tortured him as a child in the dumps, man. And this is known. It's not publicly talked about by a lot of people, but
I think some videos of this are coming out as he's speaking about it.
yeah, and it only really started coming out about 3 years ago. I caught this random video that David did. David towards the end, he started doing like 5 hour live streams, and like, wow, I can't tag along for a 5 hour live stream. Like, it's too much. And it's every day, 5 hour live streams. But he was dropping gold in a lot of it, man. And in the end, I know that David is more powerful dead, because now people's going to really look into his work. Just like when I die, I'll be more powerful when I'm dead, when I'm a martyr, because people will truly look into my work and see what I did, and they will scrutinize every interview I ever did and show you this is some real stuff. So just like Amir was saying earlier, regardless of what you think about David, give him some credit. He was They used him like they used me in the programs, man. They raped both of us. We had to go through we both went through ceremonies as children. We went through a lot of darkness, man. But the problem is David never really truly emotionally healed from it, because he wasn't talking about the abuse. And he had publicly came out that all the memories of abuse came out after Elizabeth. And what we're seeing with the remote viewing was Elizabeth was a handler. And this needs to be talked about. Elizabeth was set in to destabilize him. He started going down that rabbit hole, and all the abuse memories started allegedly coming in. I don't know if David knew about it,
I
and he
think he
didn't
really
talk
loved
about it.
her. He really loved her.
100%. And this is
And
what we're
that's part
seeing.
of the that heartbreak. We're not just saying this just for the sake of it. These are patterns. Heartbreak, it weakens your shields, brings down your vibration, and suddenly you're accessible to all the creepy crawlies and the
Our
density.
Achilles heel with love.
Yeah, yeah, love, love, love. So heartbreak happens, but forgive,
You have to.
rise out. Don't stay down there. If somebody is stuck in the heaviness of a trauma for more than a few days, if it's a loss of a loved one, more than a few weeks, something is wrong. You got to raise your vibration back out. Forgive. If you need to mourn, by all means, this is healthy. Cry, mourn, but make sure you don't stay down there for too long. That's where we're most vulnerable. I see so many powerful souls, these beautiful people that find me, come for sessions. Usually the most powerful ones are hit by the people they love the most. When we open our heart, we are vulnerable. And this isn't to say not to love, but learn the wisdom of how to transmute the heartbreak into power. This is very, very possible. Something that also I really want to, in all humility, suggest. There's so much said about Abrahamic religions through the hippie corporate movement. I say these words carefully, hippie corporate movement, an ocean of wisdom 1 inch deep. There's no depth to it. It's a mishmash. And so that idea of what was called God is distorted into total falsehood. Many of these people become paranoid, looking left, right, and center, pointing fingers, fallen, 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 to a point that they no longer see the divine beauty in everything. And so they become the fallen. And so all this, let's just for the sake of argument say it is true. But it takes away a structure and leaves a vacuum where people, after a lifetime of following a certain protocol, talking to the divine, are wondering, are all these years lost? No. The divine is the source of all sources. It is you, it is me, it is every particle, it is every tree, river, and mountain, every galaxy, every universe. That infinite fractal of existence is source. And that is you. So that thing of prayer, it is super powerful. May be called manifestation, may be called magic, it may be called prayer. It's connecting to your truest essence. And this is our superpower, connection to source. It heals, it renews, it upgrades, it elevates, it beautifies. So if there's some last thing I want to add, and I've got 11:11 on my digital clock as we're saying these words, call to source. Remember that you are source. It doesn't matter what is used against you. What technology has taken you down 20 lifetimes in a row? What masterpiece of creation or uncreation is used to keep you suppressed? The answer is, I do not care. I am connected to source. And that is our highest defense in these crazy times. It is difficult to trust. In fact, the best guidance is don't trust. Don't trust. Drago, don't trust me. Don't trust anybody. Trust yourself and your connection to source. Take everything with healthy skepticism. And then if there is evidence provided in a way that you can replicate it, I'm talking about the scientific method. Is it valid? Is it observable? Is it reliable? Is it repeatable? Is it independent of who does it? Then you give it consideration. But that baseline, that is always going to work his connection to source. No matter who comes along, big names that for what they have done, I really love these wonderful people, but creating a vacuum of power just leads to chaos. Now, here we are erecting the healthy structure, the uninverted, non perverted, original flow of consciousness, which is source. That is our save. That is our way of safety. It is what saves us. It is what gets us out of this illusion of separation. And that is the purpose of coming into human bodies to begin with.
And what he just basically said is all comes down to love. You know, most of my clients I put under, it's shocking how many of my clients don't love themselves. And we were talking about crying and stuff. All that weight is being held in your body. All that emotional trauma, the stuff you were never safe to release, especially you men. You men shock me because 99% of all my clients are female. And what this has told me over time is men have too much pride to open up to let you know that they have emotional problems because we've been conditioned to shut the fuck up, keep it to ourselves. This is what men do. That's part of the inversion programming. The only way to release that trauma is to physically cry. And I challenge myself constantly. One of the things I do to release my own trauma and pain is 7 days a week. I watch videos of people saving people, humans saving animals, humans taking a great white shark that has been beached. That will kill you and eat you in the water. But at that point in time, you see how important and valuable that is, that being. And all you want to do is save it. You'll risk your life being bitten by putting it back in the water because that's what's right. You're getting through the illusion of fear and you're seeing that shark is you. Amir is me. I am Amir. Everybody listening is us. It's you. We are no different. This is, at source, we only split ourselves into little fractals. That's why I called my website fractaloflight.com, because we are all fractals of source. We are all fractals of the original light. And you have to see that the insects, the bugs, the things that you hate the most is something you hate in yourself, because you can't see that bug you hate, that snake you hate, it's you. There's no difference with the soul in that snake or spider than the soul located in your body. Humans are not better than insects. Humans are not better than animals. It's source having its own experience. And through our own fear of non-evolution, we stomp that light out of an innocent being just trying to live life out of your own fear. And I see this on the galactic stage. Humans will invade other planets and they'll get overrun with raptors or Mars spiders or something. And we don't see them as being equal to us because it's a fear that gets activated. But unless you talk to a spider mother and you have a conversation with it and you interface with it, that mother wants to protect its babies as much as it can. It cares. If we abduct one of the spiders, the mom knows about it. The mom could have 10,000 babies and she's still concerned about us abducting one of her babies and we're experimenting on it. That's love. They're not doing it because they want to harm us, man. It's simply the circle of life, and you cannot take offense to that. We do that as above, so below. Do you know how many beings we murder just because we want to eat, because we say we're on top of the hierarchy and top of the food chain? We are not at the top of the food chain, period. If technology was to be removed from Earth, you'll see how fucking fast that humans are not at the top of the food chain. We are in the middle because the predators will really start coming out and our technology will not work. We will not be able to replicate our technologies to prevent this from happening. So you have to be thankful for everything around you. You have to look at the roach or the water bug and don't fear it. Look it into its eyes and say, I see you. I wish you no harm. I would prefer you not be in my house. So I'm going to show you an act of kindness. I'm going to put a glass around you with love. I'm going to take you outside so now you can truly experience life. And people see that when they interact with me. It doesn't matter if it's a beetle the size of my pin tip right here, just that. I will take that beetle and I will walk it outside. I'll simply blow it into the grass. I send you love. I do not wish you harm. Have the greatest life. Have the greatest love. So it all comes back to love. If you can't love yourself, you are not allowed to love another. And I know that's hard to understand because you will be abhorrent to what I just said. And we found this in hypnosis sessions. A parent will say, you can't say I don't love because I love my children. That's not what love is. You're doing it only for the survival and well-being of others while you put your own self on the line, giving up your own love to love others. That is not evolution. Your goal is to love yourself first. And you cannot truly protect others and love others unconditionally unless you love yourself. Because
Right.
imagine you're in a situation, let's use my life for an example. I had a very unfortunate upbringing. The person that raised me as their child, I thought he was my dad till age 10. He leaves at age 10. He goes to Las Vegas on a drinking binge. He never returns. He's still there on a drinking binge. He never wanted to be in my life. He had unlimited chances. Then at age 13, my mom tells me, oh, by the way, that guy's not your dad. This other guy's your dad. And I met him. The moment I met him at a park. He walks up, get out of his car. He looks me in the eyes. He looks my mom in the eyes. He looks me in the eyes, looks my mom in the eyes and says, that's not my kid. So you have to get to the point where unfortunate things happen in our lives. But if I would have played the victim my entire life and I wouldn't have become strong and taken over the fatherly role of myself, working since I was a young kid, and I worked my entire life since the day I turned 15, full-time job since I was 15, because I knew I had to help support my family. It was just me, my mom, and my brother. So giving up our life to support others, and the whole point of this conversation is I didn't love myself most of my life. I would look in the mirror, I hate you. I can't stand you. I used to be a cutter. I would cut my arm because girls broke my hearts, and I would always take that pain out on me. I would just cut myself and lacerate myself up. Most people don't know that. And that not having that self-love, it made me bulimic for almost 10 years. And I lost a lot of weight. And that's when I was in the prime of when I was living in Texas, when I was the skinniest, I was into the most extreme bulimia. And I would throw up 2 or 3 times a day, and no one knew it. Only my ex-wife knew that, and she had to hold that burden for me without ever letting anyone else know. So the burden that I put on her to have her go through that was emotional for her. It was emotional for me. And one day before I moved here, I had enough. I'm throwing up on the floor in front of the toilet, and I'm energetically done. I'm like, I'm in this loop I can't escape. I don't love myself. I look in the mirror when I was done. I break down crying. I get about 6 inches from the mirror. I look into my eyes and I see pain that I have never seen before. And from that moment on, I told myself I would never do it again because I am choosing to love myself for the first time. And I went through my divorce and went through that downward spiral of just being alone. And during that, remember, I still have not found my love yet. I defeated bulimia. I did it. Most people never do it. I made a choice in one day. I will never do this again. I will never do this again. Be the change you want to see in the world. And only about 3, 4 years ago, I started looking in the mirror and I forgave myself. I forgave myself for treating my body like shit because my body does not belong to me. I like to give this analogy during my consultations. You're issued a horse at birth. Your body is your horse. Your horse does not belong to you. Your body is not you. You are the rider. Imagine abusing that horse your entire life, saying, I fucking hate you. I can't stand you. You're cutting up your horse. You're puking up all the nutrition, killing that horse slowly. Imagine that horse has been abused its entire life. It has supported you through everything, and you've never once said, Thank you for keeping me strong. Thank you for not dying of cancer. Thank you for my legs being strong to take me to point A to point B while everyone else around me has all these problems. Thank you through the abuse. Thank you for your patience. I fucking love you. I will never harm you again. I fucking cherish you.
Beautiful.
That's what you have to do. Acknowledge the smallest thing, and it's you, man. Forgive yourself. You can't change what happened in your life, but you can change how you treat yourself. Respect yourself. Get rid of the things that are harming you, and you know exactly what it is. Think about your number one addiction right now. That's the loop that's keeping you trapped. If you don't defeat the addiction will take you to the end of your life. You will never learn, you will never evolve, and the next lifetime is on repeat. Thank you
Beautiful.
for that.
Beautiful. See, this is it. We're living the human condition. We are born into, as we speak, the darkest time in human history. Right after the end of the Dark Ages, the Kali Yuga is over, and now we're going through the transition period. So a lot of darkness is bubbling to the surface collectively. If you're awake, you have probably become aware of heaviness in the collective. This is exactly what we're speaking of. Rather than going back down into victimhood, that this was done to us. Oh my God, this is so awful. I am powerless. No, no, no. Transmute it into power. Turn that pain, that trauma, that abuse into fuel for your evolution. And the key for that is the heart. The heart is the center of consciousness. Functionally, it's about understanding the language of spirit, sentience, the language of soul. And so once that is healed and activated, you understand the sentience of every cell in your body, every organ, the body as a unit. Other people, animals, trees, rivers, mountains, you can hear the story of a 200-year-old oak tree. Sit down and laugh to its sense of humor and its wisdom. This is the way out. And so the best we can do in these times where the control system, the matrix, is still pretty much in full power, we see it shaking, but it hasn't come down yet. And so therefore, a violent and aggressive outburst is counterproductive. The best we can do is not be part of the problem. And this is an internal thing. You control you. You control nothing else. And so with yourself, be kind. And if your love, your health, your joy is overflowing and somebody is worthy of it or asks for help, then you give that extra overflow to them. You can't force people into enlightenment either. If they haven't dealt with their trauma and you start speaking about it, you most likely you're going to upset them and they're going to shut down and you're going nowhere. It really needs a state of readiness and willingness. And believe me, these people who are ready to hear your wisdom and benefit from you will find you. That's the dharmic cause of dharma, where you share your wisdom. So don't be a frickin' karmic. To thyself be true. Love yourself. Forgive yourself. The most beautiful prayer is the Oponopono, the Hawaiian song.
I say it every
I
day.
love you. I thank you. Please forgive me. I forgive you too. Or something along those words that is so powerful. And once you truly mean it, you've cut the cords. No more lifetimes repeating the same old garbage. You've learned the lesson. And that's the purpose behind karma. And also, not just basic level karma, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not kick the neighbor's puppy. No, no, no. Most of us here now are masters. And this explains the level of toughness we see. Equal to our level of evolution, the toughness is extreme. And so the ability to forgive, the ability to heal and rise above this will also result in your immunity against the vast majority of psychic, technological, and energetic attacks. It's an internal job. And so, with this awareness, there's only one little line that you need to change and update your entire code with, and it's line number 1. All love starts with self love. I think that'll start everything shaking and correcting as this flow of love comes through the rest of your code.
And the universe will make you hit bottom in order to show you what true love for yourself actually is. Because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to say this lightly. All the you guys that are going through trauma, I wish 100% you hit bottom.
Yeah.
You have to get bottom in order to start your life over and to rise back up. If you're not willing to do the work to change your timeline, then you got to repeat this through universal law over and over in these death traps. Yeah. And I don't wish that upon anybody. A lot of my clients, a lot of my female clients, there's this reoccurring theme where the life of abuse, where they're being abused by a man, being controlled, physical, mental abuse. And I'm seeing this pattern. It follows them through numerous lifetimes with the same being over and over and over and over. And all you have to do is wake up and choose yourself, choose to love yourself, choose to walk away. It doesn't matter if kids are involved. Stop. I'm sick and tired of that excuse. You guys want to come to us and you want us to wisp you out of this life of your own trauma. You won't even leave your own life of trauma. You won't even do what it takes to leave. If you have to leave trauma and be homeless for 6 months, that is the price that the universe requires for you to heal yourself. Because once you make a choice to leave, you're not at bottom yet. You have to know everything that you had to lose, period. It's kind of like the drug addict that dies 15 times and they keep bringing them back over and over. Ultimately, that drug addict doesn't want to learn. They don't care if they die because they know more than likely someone's going to keep bringing them back so they can shoot up heroin the same day they woke up from the hospital. Some beings are not meant for evolution. And just like Amir said, we can't heal somebody that ultimately does not want to be healed. No matter what magic shit we do to you and our powers that we wave over you during the sessions, if you don't follow through with what we tell you to do, what do you expect from us? Like, you're just going back to your trauma. We can't magically remove the person who abuses you. So in the SSP, emotional lashing out to people is rampant and it's weakness. And one thing I pride myself in the SSP is I've never lashed out emotionally. I've never made posts attacking people, calling out people I served with, going as far as to say that you're not doing your mission because you're not doing this, this, and this. You know what I'm saying? And these people has even went as far as to say as we're part of the problem and blamed us for their lack of being acknowledged in the community. But they're not realizing your own actions have banished you from the community. You're constant lashing out. You're constant talking shit. No one wants to deal with people like that. No one wants to have someone speak like that at a conference. No one wants to interview a person like that. If your constant is constantly screaming, lashing out, and cussing, you need to heal yourself, man. All of you. We cannot change what is happening in our life, but we can choose to not to react to it emotionally. With the stuff me and Amir was going through, me and Amir had to have a talk just about what's going on in our life, you know? And we had a talk. We talked to each other like adults, you know? We held space for each other because we were both going through attacks and it was a test, you know, and we surpassed it, you know? You can't let it succumb. You can't let it take you. You got to see, I love this person in front of me. I cherish this person in front of me. Don't let them control your mind. Don't let them make you emotionally reactive. You have to be the change you want to see in the world. And no one wants to follow a psychologically unstable person. I've never been that person. That's why so many people look up to me in the programs, because they see I have my shit together. You spend some real time with me one-on-one, you can see I have my shit together. And I don't I don't hold on to the victimhood anymore. I was a victim for most of my life, sure, but you know what? 4 years ago when I found my self-love, I stopped being a victim. I left my previous life in Texas 2015. That was the victim. That was another timeline. I'm no longer that person. Everybody that knows me now, if you were my friend in Texas, you meet me now, you will see I am not the same person. I am constantly evolving. So, also, you had mentioned, Amir, about it reminded me of Sean. Sean taught me, Sean Bond, psionicleague.com. Amazing remote viewer, healer, astral magician, just like Amir is. Fucking astral magician wizards. He taught me that you take all these attacks. You take all of it. You don't reject it. You take it. You turn it into a ball and you shrink it. You compress all that power and you bring it into yourself and use their power against them. So instead of taking the attacks and it's hurting you, it's a form of rejection you're pushing away. You take all that energy, transmute it, and send it back to them. It becomes a weapon.
That's very
Sometimes,
gracious.
sure, they'll come at you harder, like 80,000 freaking beings hitting us.
Yeah.
But that's how
Yeah.
many they need to take out beings like me and Amir, because
Yeah.
we're not stupid. We're not falling for the low vibrational shit anymore. Sure, we went through that in our life, sure, but we're evolved now. We're no longer the person we used to be in the past. We're here to teach people, get to this level. Don't react. It's all a test. I'll say one more final thing. I tell all my clients, whenever something is happening in your life, no matter what it is, what drama, work, relationship, demons coming in, the fallen attacking you, you have to say, I can't control what's happening, but I can control my emotions. And the thing I tell myself every time is, you can't control what's happening, and the universe is waiting for your response. Don't think that you don't have a family. Don't think that there are thousands of beings watching you. I know you feel alone. I know this is overwhelming. This mission is hard. I know what it's like, man. I used to be that person, you know? Again, I was the lone wolf. I just wanted to be the lone wolf because, like Amir said, you can't trust anybody because everybody will be weaponized against you, even the one closest to you. Your own family will be weaponized against you. So protect yourself. Don't attach to it emotionally. Let it go, man. Just let it go. That's it. I say this with happiness. I let it go in my life. I am powerful as fuck now because
Me too.
I don't care no more. It's all a trick. Don't let the devil win.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. By the way, you just spilled the beans, man. You just gave everybody the secret sauce. This is what um, liberates you from most of the soul traps. And there's the moment of passing where you look at your body and probably giggle, "Oh my God, I'm dead. This is interesting." And then you feel the density of your life, karmic attachments, literally density. And so you just say, "I lovingly release everyone and everything," and whoosh, you shoot back up to source. And that's the way of liberation. We don't possess anything, including these wonderful vessels. We're just the custodian. And so that release, that detachment, having beautiful things is okay. Having comfort is okay. We need a minimal amount to live with dignity, live healthy, sure. But it's all transient. We don't keep these bodies. All we really keep is the wisdom. And so knowing that, don't be too upset if you have to do a temporary sacrifice and liberate yourself. It gets easier. You get stronger. The pain doesn't get any less, it sucks, but you get more resilient. You get more and more resilient, shedding greater density, greater burdens, not just healing yourself, healing the ancestors, healing those in your bloodline not yet born, because many of these conditions are astral or higher dimensional. Once they're broken everywhere. You're the hero that your ancestors have been waiting for. It's not just for your sake. Break yourself free. Otherwise, you're just another prisoner sitting in the jail cell talking smack about freedom. You're not helping anyone. Burrow through, break free, and many will follow. It gets easier. I can say this from experience. Because we get tougher, we remember more of ourselves, more of our abilities come online. Life becomes beautiful. In this detachment and release, you start appreciating beauty that is everywhere. So, ladies and gentlemen, we love you. Thank you for being here with us. And we thought we'd share what's going on in the background of the Spiritual Bro Show. It's not all riding clouds on unicorns and rainbows and candy of all colors. No, no, no. We're in it with you.
They have no idea.
You have no idea.
And this is why me and Amir wanted to have this kind of talk with you guys, because like you have no idea what we're going through to help you guys. You know how many times that we've been retaliated against? Like there's been some famous speakers that I told them in advance, if I do this hypnosis session for you, I promise they will abduct me and torture me for this. And every time I say that to a famous speaker before I put them under, they laugh. And to me, it's offensive when they laugh, because I'm being 100% serious when I see that you have no idea what I'm doing for you. Sure, you're paying me for a service, but you're not understanding the type of heat I'm going to get for helping a soul as powerful as you. It's going to make me a big freaking target. So just understand, in the circumstances where I was talking about, where I put these famous speakers under, and their sessions aren't public yet, and they were the most mind-blowing sessions. I believe it'll change the fabric of time and space once they have the balls to tell me to release it. And the problem is most of them don't have balls. They don't want to accept that what they discovered about them is true, because it's true power once you figure out who you are. And their big concern is no one's going to believe it. Believe in yourself. Release that trauma. Show the world who you are.
Yes. Well, this is the journey. Awakening dormant masters. It's not all about the general public knowing certain things. If these powerful beings are awakened into their magnificent self and start embodying who they truly are, they're going to start doing this for others. And so this is the definition of the transition period. And although things look really, really heavy, there's so much chaos going on, humanity is ahead of schedule. Initially, the most optimistic future timelines of all possible branches of the tree of time would suggest something like 3.5 centuries. And now the most optimistic projections of that definition of the new golden age is around 2.5 centuries. So we're 80 to 100 years ahead of schedule, our species, humanity. So it's not all doom and gloom. And we start by the self, as within, so without. Your world will change, although some may be still going through roughness and toughness and karma. You are at a whole different level, sharing the same physical planet, but your world is not the same. So for the sake of yourself, for the sake of those connected to you from the body, your genetics, your ancestry, but also for the sake of your soul family who are in other bloodlines, for the sake of all life, and for the sake of the fluid and resistance-free flow of the divine evolution of consciousness, love yourself. Deal with trauma, don't suppress it, be brave. Drago said having balls. Yes, please. I've seen ladies with bigger balls than any gentleman. These women are powerful, they are formidable. I honor them. See, being brave has nothing to do with gender.
Mm-mm.
In fact, I think most women have an easier time. They're strong, man. Boys are brainwashed into this freaking nonsense that boys don't cry. You got to be strong, don't show emotion. And that is the downfall of the divine masculine.
It dims our
Don't be
fire.
afraid. Yeah, don't be afraid. Uh, Seeing a man cry deeply, that is a powerful thing. And so don't deny yourself this powerful healing. When you allow it to come to the surface, feel it for the last time, bless it and
Thank
release it,
you.
and you're so much better for it, right?
Look how powerful it made you.
It's really powerful. Please believe us. We've gone through it. We've cried our fair share of tears. And we have mourned ourself, the 5-year-old self, the teenage self, the young adult, the young person, all the way to the current state in our incarnation. This crying is sacred. The mourning and healing is sacred. Please do it, because if not, it's going to be used against you in the form of all these types of attacks. That is the topic of this conversation today. Heal yourself and make yourself strong. And if you need help, you know where to find your spiritual bros. Hit us up, man. We'll help you.
We can take it.
Yeah, I think so. 80,000. Yeah, I think we can deal with a few reptilians. Come, please. It makes it easy for us. We don't have to go looking for you. Please.
And we also invite the remote viewers of what we were talking about. Look at it yourself. See what was really happening to us. And this is again, this is a real thing that's happening to us. And
With caution, though, we want to be gentlemen. We want to be compassionate, with the caveat, okay, look in, but it's harsh.
very harsh.
The emotional state is heavy, is really unpleasant. I wouldn't wish this upon any conscious being.
Mm-mm. It's
Um,
a heavy
just be
burden.
aware. You verify by all means, but please be prepared. The intensity of these attacks and the pure wickedness, this is not a pleasant thing. So I thought I'll just add that if you want to look. Please do.
And just understand, like Amir, he's coined himself as like the modern day John Constantine, and that's quite literally what it's like. He's more of the fighting the demon side, and I'm more of like I feel more like the Doctor Strange, where I'm doing the astral stuff, and I'm doing the. He's more of the he specializes in fighting the darkest of the dark demons, man, and like you have to give Amir credit because no one ever does, and he needs to be acknowledged for all the loss he's had throughout his entire life. And it made him strong. It made him get out of his own traumas to not be the victim anymore, to
Yeah.
become the victor, to vanquish the evil. And you can't be afraid to have retaliation against you.
Yeah.
When we were talking earlier, if you're not built for this, walk away. If you feel you are built for this, it will be a test. It will test you constantly. Do not fall for the trick. Do not fall for the traps. Stay in your light, because even demons have a spark of source inside themselves that they're not even aware of.
Yeah.
Just like Amir was saying, we don't want to vanquish the evil. We don't want to terminate their lives, but some beings,
They
they
gotta go.
they do not deserve to be alive because
They gotta go.
they can't see what they're doing.
They're
And
too broken. Yeah.
but the
There's no
broken
healing.
can also be healed. So
Most of the time. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So I pride myself in my sessions. This is a known thing. I try not to always harm the beings that I fight, because I will harm them if they harm me or my client, and I will harm them more than they harm me. And to those beings that were involved that hurt us, we put a chain of events in, even I did, not just a mere trapping them in and doing the divine audit. One of the biggest honors you can do for the fallen is to show them the value of life. And sure, I can threaten them to throw them in my box. A lot of people don't know what my box is. One of my incarnations, I'm an Alpha Draconian general, a very high-ranking one, and I'm known throughout the Draconians of who I am. And You guys can remote view it. See who I am with that draconian life. See what I've done. And see how it made me strong in this life and how I brought that archetypal energy here to help free even the darkest draconians. Because I'm known in my sessions, I give them an option. If you're going to fight me, I will overpower you. I don't care what draconian you are, because technically I'll outrank you, even the elites, because I'm a Seokar dragon. And the draconians are below the dragons. So regardless of my rank of being an alpha draconian general, I still outrank the ones above me. But I won't be cocky about it. I will always respect the ones above me. I will always show them honor, because the draconians only have honor. There are ones that don't have honor, and those are the ones that we do not like, even on the draconian side. One draconians without honor, there's only honor with the draconians. Do not mess with honor. But numerous draconians have chosen the light. When they come at me, they're acting as handlers. I had a group of 9 in the room one day, probably not even a month ago, and I fought them. They're coming in my sessions all the time, and I gave them an option. The ones that wanted to fight me, cool. You're going in my box. If you don't want to go in my box, if you don't want me to come after you through time and space, because they weren't knowing that we can track them through all incarnations through time and space, they think this feebly human body can't do anything to these, because we can't see them, but they don't realize the power we have. So I activate a spark of light inside their center that they never knew they had. And I expand that light out. The ones that want to accept it enter the light. They go into their own evolution. They can become the dragon. They can become part of the good side. But I'm letting you guys know, even demons have a spark of source in them. You just got to remind them that they forgot. And that's it. So sometimes showing the enemy kindness is what they've needed this entire time, because no one ever else showed them kindness. It takes one moment to show them love, to bring them to the side of the good.
Yin and yang, active and passive, evolve or alchemically transmute. So to remove obstacles. So obstacles to healing. The healing is always done by the person, by the self. So it's facilitating healing, or maybe pointing in the right direction. Once people know where true north is, they know what they're doing, and they know that it is true, nothing can stop them. And so may it be.
And so it is.
And so
It changed, just like oh my God, I'm mind farting every time they hit.
Gandhi.
Just like, oh my God, Amir, you just interfaced with my mind. Just like Gandhi said, be the change you want to see. If you want to fight the darkness, stop having excuses and being angry for stuff you're not doing yourself. If you want to rescue people, start rescuing people. Make the change in the here and now, and it'll hit the 100th monkey effect. So if you want to rescue kids, put yourself in situations where people will abuse kids. I've done it. I'm known for it. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of what they would do to me, because there's only right. There's only right. There's only right. Do what you know you need to do. If you want to see, if all around the world, worldwide governments are resigning because the people are starting to step into their power and starting to rise up. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But if you want to have your power, if you want to vanquish evil, if you want to get rid of kid diddlers and people who hurt children, stop bitching about it. Start doing something about it. Start going to community meetings. Start wearing shirts that bring this reality forward, showing what it is. Educate people. Stop doing it from your Facebook. Go outside. Start these conversations. Make a real change in this timeline. And I bet one day, if you step into this power, you might be one of the ones that changed the entire timeline, and it was because of you.
Well said. Well said. So on that note, shall we bring our conversation to a close?
This was a good one.
This is a good one. Yeah, very heartfelt. It's like sharing space with soul family.
Yeah,
Ladies and
we're
gentlemen,
going to do
this
this
has
way
been,
more often. Just
I
me
think
and
so.
Amir talking, and
Bring
maybe
in just
once a month or something. Just updates of the
yeah.
mind, the emotions, the soul, the trials and tribulations.
Well, if amongst our audience somebody's lasted this long and you've reached this point of the conversation, you're soul family. We love you very much. If you're seeing it in 3 sessions, well, you're still soul family. We still love you.
You're too distracted in life.
You're
If
doing
you
exact
can't watch something for
ADHD.
more than 15 minutes,
Don't,
you are the problem.
don't be a squirrel.
I'm
Don't
a
get.
long content person. I will watch the hours worth of content. If it takes me a day or two, still going to do it.
So thank you for your wonderful kindness. I'm feeling the love even right now from the collective that's going to see this and hear this. We send you blessings. We send you love, the most elevated wishes. Please keep being awesome until the next time.
And last moment update. I do have a couple conferences coming up. I'm going to be in Ireland all of next week, and then the week after that, I'll be in Hawaii for the Super Soldier Conference in Panoa. You guys can find all that information on my Facebook page. Facebook links, we'll put it under this video to me and Amir's stuff. We're always going to give you guys updates of what we're doing, what our plan is, group meetups, different conferences. So, guys, join our team of soldiers. If you want to help put foot to ass, the best thing to do is come to these conferences, meet us face to face, because sure, we can be Facebook friends, but if you're showing the world you're not willing to do what it takes to really do it, you have to come to the conferences, man. So I'll be doing that conference in a couple of weeks in Hawaii, and next month I'll be doing the Disclosure in Mackinac conference at mortalsoferth.com. And it'll be in Mackinac, Michigan, right on the Great Lakes. We have some amazing freaking speakers. We're going to have ET relics. We're going to have ET technologies that they literally got from the Earth themselves with LiDAR and different scanning technologies, and they're pulling it out of Earth live. So you're going to see these crystal skulls, a lot of amazing things. So we have a lot of amazing things coming up, guys. So just keep following along, and we love you all.
All the best. Bye for now.
Until next time, everyone.